Well, hello, happy Tuesday, everybody. And y'all know what it is. I'm coming to y'all with a new good episode of Tuesday Talks with Tiff. I hope everybody is having a good Tuesday and a good week thus far. And let's just go ahead and get into this subject real quick. So, I want to talk to y'all about processing grief or disbelief. Like when something, you know, big happens, detrimental. How do you process those things when life starts lifing and you get hit with something? Could be in the middle of the night. It could be some type of news, a text, a call. Um, it could be something on social media or anything. How do you process those things when that hits your household or your mind or your body, your psyche? So I had a whole different subject that I was going to talk about today, but yesterday, we lost our good big brother, Malcolm Jamal Warner. As many other people may have been introduced to him in different shows since the Cosby Show, but for me, and I believe for all of my 80s babies and above, we will always look at him as Theodore Aloysius Huxtable, also known as Theo. And I think he was just a beautiful soul. And I know he's a celebrity. Y'all don't know him for real. Y'all don't know what he was. Look, he was a beautiful soul. I didn't need to know him to know that, but he was a beautiful person. And we lost a good one yesterday. We did. We lost a beautiful human being yesterday. And it brings up different areas of grief. Um, so, how do you process it? How do you process when things happen that are out of your control or things that you have to face? Somehow, some way in all of our lifetimes, we're gonna deal with death. We're gonna deal with some type of a tragedy, even if it doesn't go, that deep. But it could be an accident. It could be just something. How do you process it? So I'm gonna tell y'all how I process it, and then I want y'all to tell me. So the first thing that I had to learn how to do was actually be okay with not being okay. Sometimes you try to be strong for other people. Sometimes you try to show face. Sometimes you just try to put on this, you know, facade that everything's okay. But what I had to learn was it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to let your emotions out because keeping them held up, bottled up, all in the inside, it doesn't work for anybody, especially for you. That can build illnesses, sicknesses, mental blocks, different things like that, just keeping it held up. Sometimes you just need to get it out. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that it was okay to not be okay. Even the strong people can sometimes have a weak moment, and sometimes you can deal with things out here in this world that will cause you to fall on your knees. And so I learned that step. The next part was to process every emotion that I had. So sometimes with grief comes anger, sadness. I'm trying to think of another one: anger, sadness, and then you also maybe have like some emotional areas where you have to deal with maybe financial things, just all these things come together. And sometimes it's too much. So you can only do what you can do in a day when it comes down to these things. And I had to learn how to put them in their places. So if I felt a little bit angry today, it was okay. If I felt sadness today, it was okay. If I felt like I could, take on the world today, that's what I would do. But it was okay to be able to say, today, this is what I'm dealing with. Tomorrow, I'll deal with it that way. And I think the third thing was just that sometimes we want to question and we want to know why. We want to know why these things happen. And I had to learn in my older years that some things do happen to good people. And sometimes we question, well, you got bad people over here and this is happening to good people, so why? But I had to learn that even sometimes when things happen to good people, there's some type of lesson. There's something out of it that is either unspoken or something that we need to find out within ourselves as to why. And usually when I give that question to God, not so much to question him as a why did you do it, but it's more or less just why. I allow for him to show me, not so much saying a positive part, but to show me the part that it pertains to me as to what do I need to do with this now that I have this. And I'm telling you, all three of those things have helped me out so much. Losing one father, my stepfather, when I was a teenager, I didn't know these things. But losing my natural father when I was in my 30s taught me these things, and other family members as well too. And it doesn't take away the sting. It doesn't take away the memories. It doesn't take away any of that. It just helps as you process it through. But I will tell any of us, even with Malcolm or any people that we've lost personally, going through grief, it's a process. Nobody should ever tell anybody when to get over it. But what I will say is stay prayed up during the process. It helps. It's not going to take it away. It's not going to make it go any faster, but it definitely helps because you get to give it away and you get to process it for yourself, and eventually every day gets better. So, comment to me and let me know, how do you guys deal with grief? How do you guys deal with disbelief when your life is rocked with something? So, comment below. Let me know what you think. DM me, and we can all talk about it. This is a safe space. So, I just want to give flowers for what flowers is due, because it's good to do that. And like I said, I was definitely hurt, still hurt, and I feel like a lot of us are hurt about what happened with Theo yesterday. And I just want to say, I know he's gone, but he was a beautiful person. We loved him. I think that, we got to see this, you know, young black man on this TV that probably had never been shown before, that talked with dignity and grace, went through some things, but it showed how he persevered over any triumphs that he had, and we got to see that weekly. And sometimes on TV shows we don't get to see those things, but that's why he was so sacred. And so I know he's done millions of other projects. He was a musician. He was a poet. He was a director. Y'all look him up. Theo was. Not Theo. Let me say it. Malcolm was that boy. Look him up and look at the things that he's done and accomplished. Y'all will be shocked at some of the videos he has directed. So just take a moment and sometimes give people their flowers. Love on people while they're here, and understand that beautiful souls sometimes become our guardian angels. So, Theo, we will miss you. Your fans, they loved you just unconditionally, and we're hanging up the Gordon Gartrells. And so nobody will ever be able to take that place. So I'm giving you your flowers. So rest on, brother. So to any and everybody else, I love y'all. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week. Comment, DM me, let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. Bye.